Hey, Rob here for Quadratech.com. Today I have Johnny with me from Bully Dog. Thanks for coming in.
Hi, thank you. It's nice to be here. Thanks for having us. We appreciate it.
Of course. Bully Dog makes some really great products, and we're happy to have you guys here. We like to let our viewers know a little bit about maybe Bully Dog and what you guys do and how you got into the Jeep market.
Okay. Bully Dog was created by three brothers in Aberdeen, Idaho, a little tiny town in southeast Idaho. They were farmers that started souping up their farm trucks so that they could go a little faster, farm a little quicker, a little more horsepower, things like that. And then when everything went electronic, they switched over to the electronic market. So we started doing, cars and trucks.
Right.
They just plug in through the diagnostic port in the vehicles, and that's how we do all of our programming. Jeep specifically, came a little later. We actually do programming for Chevy, Ford, Dodge, Nissan Infiniti, and Toyota has been the most recent addition.
Right.
We've always kind of done some tuning for Jeep. Kind of got lost in some of the other applications, so we've split it apart and gave the Jeep guys their own thing because they are definitely their own breed of guys, and they like stuff specifically for them.
Oh, yeah. And with the Jeep market, we have, a couple different options and things that you can do with the programmers that are really specific to a Jeep versus, a pickup truck.
Exactly right. With our gas programming, they're octane rated, so you will always get a regular tune, which is going to be anything that's 80 plus octane. We've got a premium tune that's anything that's 90 plus. On the Jeeps specifically, they've got a trail tune, which basically kind of desensitizes the throttle response on it. So if these guys are out there, they're using the crawling and they're bouncing over rocks, they're not stomping on that accelerator and causing it to lurch. So that for them, that's a big thing. Jeep specifically, or the Rubicons, they have some some features on them that you can access stock. Well, we are giving them the capability to access those things with the tuner, like the axle lockers, the sway bar disconnect, the engine fan, the idle up. All of those specific things, they can only access those in four-wheel drive low. On our programmer, they actually have the capability to access it in the four-wheel drive high and even two-wheel drive. And they also, the nice thing about this as well, that it has a safety feature. If they forget to lock all those things back in, get up to 30 miles an hour, they reconnect themselves so they're not flying down the highway and have an accident, which is important.
So it really it takes the capability that Jeep put in the vehicle from the factory, and it just expands and really gives you the options to really utilize those features.
Which those guys like to play with those specific things. They're there for a reason, so we let them play as much as they want with them. So.
Now, with those features, the programmer actually will have to stay plugged in to access those features, correct?
For the features, yes, that's correct. So, and of course, to monitor. For the guys that want to just set it up and drive it, say they're not going, out into the countryside or up into the mountains to do those things, and they just want to program them and call it good, that's fine. They can program it, they can remove this, they can put it in their glove compartment, and off they go. It does not have to stay plugged in unless they want it to, or unless they want to access the features.
So you can use it for just the tune to get some performance out of the Jeep, or you can use it to access all these extra features. That's great. And then you guys also make a lot of great accessories to go along with the tuner.
We do. For anybody that has had something like this, in the past, sometimes the suction cup mounts don't necessarily hold up the way they want them to, especially if they're doing a lot of the rock crawling and it's bouncing all over, they're losing it off the dash. We do pillar mounts for them. We also even have a rear view mirror mount, so if they'd rather do something like that, because I know a lot of guys hate to have that kind of stuff on the dash, or they hate to have it up here in their face. So it'll sit in the center of the vehicle, instead.
And these options really give you that secure point to mount the program, and you're not worried about it.
It's not going to fly off at you.
when you're going down the trail.
Exactly right. And that's another thing, too, that's really nice about the programmer that I want to touch on, that when you purchase a Bully Dog, comes with everything that you need for that initial installation. You don't have to buy another thing. It's going to come with your HDMI cable, your accessory power wire if you want it, and that's, if they want to key on, key off with the ignition, they've got that. The OBD block that we give them actually has the capability to work as an off and on switch if they decide not to run into the fuse box. Some of those guys just don't want to mess with that stuff, and that's okay. So it will come with everything, including the suction cup mount, which will get you up and running until you get something else if you decide to do so.
And then the unit is updatable as well, right?
That is correct. Yes, we give you actually, you get a USB cable that you can use, which allows you to power on the computer if you want to do it that way. I always recommend using the micro SD card adapter, just because it's much quicker, it's cleaner to do it that way. And all of the updates are free online. So say that we did an update, we added an additional feature or something, they can return the vehicle back to factory stock, take it to the update agent off of our website, update it, reload it back into the vehicle, and then they've got
Yep.
the capability of that feature that wasn't there before.
Great.
So.
And then you can always put your vehicle back to the stock.
Absolutely. We have a lot of
parameters.
guys, of course, that they've got these Jeeps that are brand new. They're still under factory warranty. They're worried, that, oh my gosh, it's going to void my warranty. These guys are going to see that. We always tell our customers, as long as you return it back to factory stock, which we're always going to recommend anyway, because if there's an update or something on a vehicle computer,
Right.
they take it in, they flash the computer, you end up with a VIN-locked unit, and that's a whole nother mess to have to deal with. So as long as they return it back to factory stock, take it into the dealership, they can do whatever they want to do there,
Yep.
bring it back, reload it, and they're ready to go.
And then this is also compatible with some different Jeep models. So
Correct.
if you start out with a JK and maybe you want to change, this will also work on a Grand Cherokee. Right?
It will. I'm like, yes, we can do the Grand Cherokees and the JKs. They're multiple model years, so
Right.
that's kind of nice that they can return it back to stock. They can do an update. They can pick a new vehicle, and they don't have to buy another programmer.
Awesome. A very versatile product.
It is.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, it makes it easy.
Yeah, definitely. Well,
So-
thank you so much for coming by and
No
giving us an
problem.
overview of all this stuff today. I appreciate
Hey,
it.
well, thank you again for having me. I really appreciate it.
Definitely. And of course, as always, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel so you're the first to know about all the latest industry news, product reviews, and how-to videos. And then to purchase any of these great Bully Dog products, simply click on the product images at the end of the video.